Hello, welcome to Cooking with Gina. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. And I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy. So today in the kitchen, what am I doing? I don't know. What else is new? And not knowing is knowing, right? So today my stomach kind of hurts. I have a feeling it's because all of the peanut butter fudge I was pounding. I had some last night, and then this morning I enjoyed some with coffee. And so I feel like, full, but I also feel hungry at the same time. So I thought I would make another soup. But this soup is going to be very plain. And this time I really mean it, because all I'm going to put in it is water, some homemade spicy sauce. It's just, my dad made this. It's a bunch of hot peppers and oil, and he roasted the hot peppers. I'm going to add in a can of cream style corn. This is Green Giant flavor, name brand. And yesterday, if you were watching Cooking with Gina, I experimented with the Biscuit, and I could not get my conventional oven to 450, and it impacted the muffin bread texture, if you will, of the biscuits. And so this toaster oven is like an all-in-one. So I've got it on bake. It's at 450, and it already beeped at me actually as I was just putting this together. So I'm going to put it in here. It's kind of soggy today. It's still tasty. So I'm going to see how that works out. And I may or may not put hummus and sauerkraut on top of it. I may or may not, if this doesn't work out, I might put this on bread. I really don't know. But one thing I do know is my soup is going to be very plain and liquidy. And I'm going to make some white rice to go with it. And I'm going to, one way that I really enjoy rice with soup is actually having the rice on the side. And then I like to take a spoon of rice, add some broth, take a bite. I don't know, it makes for an enjoyable experience. And then I find the rice is perfect anyways for me. I really like the texture like that. And if I can avoid putting rice and noodles in the soup, I do, unless I'm eating it like that day, which I guess I could add the rice now, but I want that experience where I take the rice on the spoon, put it in the broth. And, food is one of life's simple pleasures. So let me know how you enjoy food, one of life's simplest pleasures. Let me know if you made that peanut butter fudge. Let me know if you started pounding it like I did and how you're doing today. What am I drinking today? I'm drinking Pepsi. I think I've had too much sugar, but I just want Pepsi. So cheers to Cooking with Gina. Cheers to a great day. I'm not being endorsed by any of these companies, just letting you know what I'm using, and I'd love to know what you're using in the comments. And if you notice that I'm using something that's not vegan, please kindly let me know in the comments, and also let me know a substitute that I can use. This is a learning curve. And this morning, if you're wondering about Dragon Dreams, I'm actually past the 500 page mark now. And so whatever it is, what it is. And this morning I ended up writing like a whole other piece, if you will, of the puzzle, filling in a gap. And I'm feeling really excited about it. So let me know what you're excited about, and if you've ever thought about publishing a book. And I feel like in my life, bridging the dream world with the waking world, there are some folks I follow on YouTube that I've been recently introduced to. So I'm starting to follow them, and what they're saying is really resonating with me. And so it's important to tell stories, but it's also to listen to stories. And I'm hearing some stories that I don't really like. In my storyline, I come from this dragon tribe, and it was feeling all like whole and holy, but now I'm like, what? Dragons are being slayed, and there's evil dragons. Well, the good guys and the bad guys are the same guys. And I thought slaying dragons was like an old, thing that we grew out of. And so I'm finding really fascinating information, and I don't feel alone. It's not just me telling stories. Other people are telling their own stories, and the stories are connecting. People who don't even know each other, who live in different places on this planet, are connecting stories and telling very similar stories or the same story. And so I'm starting to now hear stories about me and my dream world that's helping me fill in gaps. And so I'm just like extra super excited to publish book 5. And anyways, I'm going to get busy here because I'm getting hungry. So I'm just cooking for one today. The soup I made yesterday was a real hit. Folks shared it with the neighbors. So I was going to my sister. And today I was instructed just make enough for yourself today for lunch. So I may or may not have leftovers. And if I do, then this is just going to be my lunch for tomorrow. So I'm going to rinse my rice and I'll be right back. So I've got about that much rice, and then I've got about that much water. So I'm just going to put it in the rice cooker now. And I'm going to press cook. Okay, so what am I doing again? Oh yeah, I want to grab a can of tomato paste to help flavor my soup. So I'm just going to run and grab that. All right, so to make this soup, I'm just going to crack open a can here of tomato paste, and I'm going to open up the cream of corn. All right, so I am adding the cream of corn. And, I was just thinking when I was a kid, we never looked forward to cream of corn. My mom would buy it by mistake, and then she would act like she meant to buy it. Right? Can you relate? And food appreciation, we had to eat it. But now I'm using cream of corn all the time just because it's available. And I haven't actually eaten it just for what it is. I've been mixing it in soups. I've mixed it in my Biscuit mix. And so I'm wondering about you. And, I was thinking last night, just reflecting on the episode I did, how we mix ingredients together, but you can't taste them. Like the kidney beans in this Biscuit creation, you can't taste them at all. And it provides like a potato texture, but there's no potatoes in there. And it made me think back to when I was baking more, especially in my early 20s. And I would make carrot cake. And you want to know the secret to a really great carrot cake? Add a crushed can of pineapples. Yeah, I know, right? Like it doesn't taste like pineapples at all. It just really adds to the moisture of the carrot cake. And it's so good, So I'm wondering, what ingredients are you sneaking in to help out? And what ingredients do you use to substitute? And have you ever used kidney beans as like a potato substitute? I'm interested. Let me know in the comments. So I'm just thinking about Eckhart Tolle in this moment because I really admire him and how he talks about presence, the present moment, the now. And I have his book. I forget what it's called in this moment. It's like his most popular book. And it's about the now. And I find I read it on days where I need to have it like reinforced. And just reinforcing my own thoughts and beliefs. And he expresses my wavelength, like I'm on his wavelength, and he expresses himself so well. So I really appreciate that. And recently I joined a group called, now I forget, it's something like Eckhart. And at first I thought they were talking about Eckhart Tolle, but they're not. And they talk about things like oneness and the subconscious mind and dreams. And so I really enjoyed, I think it was just last Saturday, having conversations with folks who are local. It was online, but folks who are local about that kind of stuff. And I was thinking about it because yesterday I was like, where are the Canadians? And it's like, they're there, you know, and they talk about miracle stories. And I'm Canadian, in case you were wondering, talking about miracle stories and whatnot. And so that really resonated with me. And anyways, I was just thinking about Eckhart Tolle right now because I was really enjoying this moment of like opening the can, pouring it in, adding water in here, stirring it. And there's a video literally of Eckhart Tolle where he's making tea and he's like, pour water into pot, and he pours the water into the pot, you know, and he's like, add honey, and then he adds honey, you know, smell, that kind of stuff. And I don't know if it's just me, but he seems to have a little bit of not attitude about it, but just kind of like, this is how simple it is. He doesn't say that, but that's like the vibe that I'm getting. And it's true, you know, when you're practicing presence, that's how simple it is. And I'm still trying to understand the difference between getting lost in timelessness and practicing presence, because I feel like if I'm understanding him correctly and myself correctly, that yeah, we like to get lost into timelessness, but when we're a bit too lost into timelessness, we're not in tune with the world around us. And so to really practice presence, we need to practice time and timelessness at the same time, no time. So basically, he gives this example in his book about some master long ago who told this story, and he would get his students to practice presence. And basically, if he was able to sneak up on them and startle them, that actually meant that they weren't practicing presence. Because if they were able to know that he was there without being startled, then that meant that they were practicing presence, because they were able to accomplish being here and being nowhere at the same time. And I thought, that's really cool, you know? And then I started thinking about things like addictions and whatnot, and how, you know, we do things medicinally to help us out as a coping strategy. But when we're addicted and we're always coping transforms into suffering. And so anyways, I love thinking about thinking. I'm wondering about you, who inspires you. Maybe there's a writer out there like Eckhart Tolle that is on your wavelength, but he explains things in a way that you understand. And I'd love to hear about it, because if you're listening to this, that means we're part of the same soul tribe. So we're definitely interested in the same things, and we all have roles to play. So anyways, I'm just going to get back to my soup here. So my soup right now doesn't really look appealing because of the chunky tomato paste in there. But it'll come around. I don't want to make too much soup, but I know I'm definitely going to want to have like 2 bowls. So I'm going to add the hot peppers. And these are really hot. Initially, I was just going to dump the whole thing in, but I tried it first, and I'm not going to be able to do that. And I think I'm also going to want to enjoy some of this just on the side on my rice. It smells really good. I can smell it from here. This is on the oily side. So I'm just using a fork to, you know, not put too much of the oil in here. And I could always add more, you know. So I'm going to turn my oven on high, and I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, and I'll be right back. I also found an onion, so I definitely want to put this in my soup. Onion is great in any sauce, I feel. Any sauce or soup, can't go wrong with onion. I'm just checking on my Biscuit creation. If you missed it, these are leftovers from yesterday. They still feel kind of soggy, but they do feel like they're cooking. So I'm going to just rotate these and put them right back in. And this was an experiment. So I know now if I'm making these Biscuit creations, it really needs to be at 450. And that's why I don't like baking and I like cooking. How about you? Let me know in the comments. And I'm going to chop up this onion right now. Okie doke. So I'm going to add my onions here to my soup. Ooh, it smells really spicy. You can smell it from over here. Mmm. And it's going to taste phenomenal. Really beautiful colors here. And I'm excited. I also wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in. You know, I'm getting more and more views as the days go by. And I think it's hilarious that my triple decker peanut butter sandwich has the most views so far. So out of everything that I've made, the peanut butter sandwich is the winner. And homemade is best made, even if it's a peanut butter sandwich, right? So I'm wondering, what's your favorite episode so far of Cooking with Gina? And I really appreciate the comments people have been leaving, whether they send them to me directly or comment in the YouTube link. I do get those messages, and you'll know that I received them because I put a heart with it. And I really thank you for tuning in. It really means a lot to me. It's encouraging to keep going. And I feel good about our togetherness and my own soul tribe growing. And I'm looking forward to doing more episodes. And I will put a cookbook out. It won't have instructions. It'll just have like the ingredients and a picture. And the pictures just don't do justice, right? They do not do justice. And neither do the videos of the food. But that's all part of keeping it real. You know, that's what real food looks like. It's not picture perfect. And part of Cooking with Gina is just keeping it simple. No fancy photography here. So these are coming along. What's happening now are the outsides are starting to burn, but the inside is still just a little bit gooey. So yesterday it wasn't gooey, it was able to cook, but I think just like these weren't meant to go in the fridge. I think the fridge added, just being in a container. So that's a lesson for me. If I make these in the future, which I think I will, like muffins, it's probably just best to keep them on the counter, you know. So I'm just making sure that they're not sticking to the bottom of the pan here. And the shape of them seems to be coming together as well. Like they're puffing out more, like you would expect a muffin or a banana bread to do. My soup, while I'm just chatting here, it looks like it's at a full boil. Oh yeah, it's at a full boil. So, and it smells really spicy. I'm not putting anything else in it. I'm just going to keep this on, I think 6 was the magic number. So my rice should be ready soon. So today's pretty quick, and I like that. When the rice is ready, I'm going to be adding Earth Balance vegan butter to it. I got another container downstairs. I'm wondering, what brands do you use, especially when it comes to cheese and butter and cream? What are you using? Let me know. So yesterday I had a little laugh because right when I was wrapping up Cooking with Gina, folks came home from their luncheon. And that's the moment I was all like, whoa, because it was so steamy hot, the soup. It wasn't spicy. It was just like literally boiling hot ass water. And then I went for the vegetables, and you know what? The spoon was hotter than the actual like veggies. But anyways, one of them thought I was crying because my eyes were all watery from it. And then when I was watching the video later on, I could see why, because it looked like that because it was that hot. And I just thought something that I'm really loving about Cooking with Gina is when I watch the videos, just part of my reflective practice, I'm noticing that I tend to get intoxicated, if you will, with the sights and the smells of the food, and even biting into those hot peppers, and in a kind way, I'm torturing myself with flavor and spices. And I think today this might bring tears to my eye because it's so spicy. Maybe I'll get the sweats. I don't know. And I don't care because I know it's going to be tasty. And I think that's where this sauerkraut's going to come in. And I can't wait. I'm wondering how you can relate in the comments. Oh, and I think I'm just designating certain outfits for cooking with Gina. I'm all about the uniform. In my teaching career, I would wear something new every day. But since I'm just here cooking at home, basically I only put clothes on to do cooking with Gina. Because I'm writing, and yeah, movement has been lacking in my life, but I really want to wrap up the Dragon Dreams Book 5. But anyways, I was just wondering if you have a uniform or go-to clothes that you use for camping or gardening or cooking. So let me know in the comments. And I just heard my rice, so I'm going to take care of that. So when you're working with a rice cooker, you always just want to unplug it, because even though it's on off or on warm, it's still cooking. And if you leave it in here, it'll keep cooking because it's just so hot. So I'm just going to get a spoon. And how much butter will I add? I don't know. Probably that much. Scrape the edges here. There's like too much to add, but not enough to really leave behind. I wonder if you can relate. I love cooking with butter. I love adding it to my pasta noodles, to my rice. And I love putting butter on bread. Okay, so I got some of it stuck on the bottom. All right, so I got my rice, my soup. It's basically ready when the onions are ready. And this here I'm going to check in on. I'm just going to get my rice out of the way, and I'll be right back. So the soup looks really good. It smells nice and spicy. If you wanted to marinate something in here, you could. Came together really nicely. Didn't look very appealing when I first was putting it together. And I'm just trying to find like a big piece of onion to see if it's cooked. The hot peppers, they were barbecued, so those are already cooked. And I can tell just by the consistency of the soup that it's okay. So it's boiling hot, literally. So I'm just going to take a little piece of onion here. And it still has a bit of a crunch to it, and I think that's great. So I'm just going to remove this from the heat. Check on these things and get myself a bowl. So these are piping hot. The Biscuit box said to bake them at 450 for about 13 minutes or so. I think it was like 9 to 13 minutes. So I feel good about the consistency. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stuff, put my soup in a bowl, put the rice on the side. I'm going to put this on the side. I thought about putting sauerkraut right on top of these and hummus, but I think I'm just going to put a blob of these both on the side. So my hummus is President's Choice, and I always call PC, I always call, PC JC, because look, their letter their letter P looks like a letter J, right? So it's President's Choice. I guess it looks like a P, but it just kind of looks like a fancy J style, at least for me. And this is roasted garlic specifically. And this brand here, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it's Cajun Sauerkraut. And this is really good. I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put it all together now. Okay, so somebody commented that they like to see it all come together, the plating, if you will. So I'm going to put my camera just a little bit back here. So I'm going to put some soup in my bowl. And I didn't add any salt or pepper to it, only because there's lots of oil in here. And it's really tasty just on its own. So I'm going to taste test it and determine the salt and pepper factor. I'm going to bring you over here. So I got my rice. There we go. These things are really piping hot. So, oh, and I got fuzzy stuck on me from my gloves. Okay. So, I want one of the cheese ones. And if you watch yesterday's Cooking with Gina, you can find out how I made this. So one is topped with cheese and one is topped with olives. And then I just left some not topped with anything. And then I want some sauerkraut. If I wanted to, I could just blob some sauerkraut right there in the soup. But I don't want to. I want to keep it on the side. I know this is going to be spicy, so I want to have a nice generous amount of sauerkraut. I don't eat sauerkraut often, but when I do, I eat a lot of it. Okay. And what else do I want? I want the hummus. And I'm gonna just blob the hummus like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of this and just put it like that on my plate. Can't wait. So I said I wasn't going to salt it, but I'm going to salt and pepper the whole thing. I just really like the taste of raw salt. I'm going to put it over my soup, my rice, hummus, the whole shebang here. The pepper, I think I'm going to hold off on given the spiciness. And that little fork that I had, ooh, that was hot. So this looks phenomenal. Here's a close-up for you. Pictures, videos do not do justice. And I'm just going to go for it. All right. Whenever I watch cooking shows, I like watching it right to the end when the people try the food. So I hope you enjoy watching the end as well. Just enjoy the white rice for what it is. So good. Put some soup on there. There's your bite. Ooh, it's full. That is good. Really, really good. the hummus mixed in with some rice. I was gonna get a knife, but I guess I'm getting a fork. Hummus mixed with the rice, going into the soup. Mmm. Really, really good. Mm. Steamy hot. Yesterday when I burnt my tongue, I was like, I think that's why the fudge was so good, because it was nice and cool in my mouth. Okay, the sauerkraut just on its own is tasty. But it's going in the soup. Nice big bite. You'll have to come for your bite. It's dripping. Mmm. That's really good. Mmm. Really, really good. Some rice here with the hot peppers. I love putting these hot peppers on just bread with butter, of course. Mmm. So good. And the last thing to try is my creation here. So it looks like it has a potato texture. I keep saying that, but it doesn't. It's just the beans, red kidney beans. They're hot. Mm. I was worried about it because of the sogginess. Again, it was soggy because I put it in the freezer. And it turned out really good. Better than I expected. I was curious if the cheese was going to melt a bit more, but it didn't. And I'm just going to dip this right into my soup. I think I'm going to need a wooden spoon because these stainless steel ones are like too hot for my mouth. Wow, this is delicious. It's good food. It's good food for you. If you've got a cold or you like spicy food, this is a great soup to make. I want to thank you so, so much for watching Cooking with Gina. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. And I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy. Until next time, take care.